All right, let's see. All right, this should be good. Okay, Brandon's not going to be here, I don't think, because hi, Kitty. He lost some of his gear on his trip, so he and his wife are at sea, as far as I understand. So anyway, we will assume that he's not going to be able to bang in, and if he does, that's good. But I don't know how they're going to get him his computer out on a boat. It's unlikely. Hello. And while this is happening, my cat's going to proceed to tear apart everything. Hey, nope. It's always damage control with that one. All right. Okay, so we're going to look at markets. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. We'll do a little bit of Q&A to get started, but we won't dither too much, and we'll get behind the wall, obviously, when we start talking about markets, which there's a fair amount to talk about. Some pretty cool articles as well. Stop it. Squirt gun. Squirt gun. He would shove that squirt gun up my ass. Anyway, so yeah, some pretty interesting things in the market. Let's see where we are, NFT and otherwise. Oh, I have some adjustments for our numbers. So I think we're at 458 on the digital investors. We're now at 61 or 62 on the digital private clients. And then NFTs, we were at 25, 26 a little while ago. So we're bearing down on the 3,000 mark, which is after the 100% thing runs its course. Then that would bump you guys up into another percentage point for the revenue share, and that's ongoing and forever. So like, as long as me and Brandon are around, that's and in order for someone to stop that, they'd have to buy all you guys out. So you're good. All right. So there's that. That's kind of cool. Let me see if there's any questions we can attack right now. Catio. You guys, anybody here have a 45-pound cat? No catio in the. You can't even keep those cats in zoos. They just leave when they want. These dudes have like a 10-foot vertical. Ain't no catio. And just so you know, he's this big. He's a kitten, and he's already eaten twice. Like twice, like more than I've eaten, like a mound of food. Come here, Bubba. Why are you chewing? You shouldn't be chewing. There's no food over there. Come here. Come say hi. I'll see if I can get him to come say hi. Give me just a second. Come here, Bubba. Oh, there we go. There he is. Ugh. And remember, he's just a kitten. Oh, come here, baby. Yeah. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi to everyone. Give me a kiss. Oh, thank you. Good boy. There. And that's the cat sighting of the day. He's very fluffy. He's got huge claws. All right. He's a F1. His dad is a full serval. The mom is an 87% serval. So he's like a high percentage, an HP. And he's crazy. He's fun though, but he just tears stuff up. I just realized that a certain percentage of my stuff's going to get wrecked by him, and that's going to be part of my my budget. Is just going to be dealing with his detritus. Okay, let's let's make sure there are no questions that we can answer publicly. Let me see. Can we still get 1 year? Yes. We're going to do that for a while, at least a few weeks, so that all of the people that are coming up to renewal, but also we're doing it so that it's kind of like you can transition some of your renewal fees into like recurring income. That's kind of like the idea. So yeah, there you go. So we're going to do it so that people, and also if you have like however many months left you're doing, if those of you that did a yearly or a 6 month, then we'll just tack it on to the end of it. So you're not going to lose anything. Okay. There's that. Anybody hear chewing sound? That's when it gets wonky. Yeah. So we're doing that. Well, the true AGI stuff, I'll leave that behind the scenes. Obviously, there's probably a lot to talk about that would make more sense if we look at markets. I would just say I had a lot of weird questions over the weekend about dollar cost averaging. There's 230 people here. There should be 230 people that understand the tenets of dollar cost averaging. So let's do some yes or no's or very short answers. You can answer in 10 words or less. First thing is, in 10 words or less, what is dollar cost averaging? 10 words or less. Remember, Einstein said things should be as simple as possible and no simpler. So 10 words or less, what is dollar cost averaging? And so as you produce that answer, we're going to go behind the wall, Howard. Damn, man. As you produce that answer in your brain and on the keyboard, let's see. We get a good one. Dollar cost averaging is buying often to average out the total asset cost. Nailed it. That's also a good part of it, Bram. It's not trying to time your buys. What does dollar cost averaging remove from your participation in the markets? What is the main thing that it removes? I mean, it eases a couple of things, but it removes one big giant human component. Yes. It removes your emotional connection. Oh, you guys all nailed it. It removes your emotional connection to purchasing. So if that's the case, then does it really matter what the price action is if you still believe in the asset? No, it doesn't matter, because if you believe in the asset and you still think there's meat on the bone, then it doesn't matter at all what the price is if you're dollar cost averaging. So when you have, I got a lot of weird emails that were like, well, not weird, but emails that were like, hey, I'm dollar cost averaging, but do you think I should be dollar cost averaging at this price or at this price? Like, well, wait a minute. Those two that's non sequitur. You can't have, I guess they're conflicting thoughts. Like, you can't be dollar cost averaging and then have the price be a factor unless you think the asset has nowhere else to go. And if there's any asset in your portfolio that you think has nowhere else to go, meaning it's all been priced in, it's all been done, there ain't no future, what should you do with said asset? This is also a kind of common sense question. If you think the markets have priced an asset correctly and there's no more meat on the bone, yeah, exit, back out of it, dump it, see you later, bye. DCA out. Yeah. I mean, in that case, I don't know if I would DCA out. If you think it's priced and there's no future, you exit the whole position. Yeah, get to the sidelines, man. I think I'm not gonna say the person who it is because it's some private clients, but I now have 2 private clients that have an 8-figure portfolio, which is pretty badass. Yes, you sell. If there's nothing left, you sell. And by the same token, if there is more meat on the bone, you continue to dollar cost average. You just don't let it affect you. S. Dow and Newton. Talk about inorganic price moves. I mean, listen, look what they did to AGIX. There's no reason that token should be over about 22 cents right now. So good on them. When nothing has changed and the asset has skyrocketed, you just got to ask yourself. Then it comes down to making a value proposition, each and every one of you. Chris asks, you stop DCAing when the average coin price hits we're at 10x. No. You stop DCAing when you think the price is correct and there's no more upside. When you say, I think this is it, and that's got to be a you decision. No one can make that decision for you. Now, if you get a 10x, take 20. No. I see what you're saying. When you think a 10x is no longer available. No, because you could dollar cost average if you think a 5x is in there. Like if you think, like I look at Filecoin, I'm going to give you an example, just a random example. And this isn't a behind the wall, in front of the wall thing. I look at Filecoin as being infrastructure important, like fundamentally important. I don't know whether that's the company that does it, but fundamentally important in the future of AI, the protection, aggregation, encryption of data, of files, right? So Filecoin, to me, I look at it and I say, well, it's about 10 or 11 bucks. It's about 10 bucks right now. Could it hit 100? Maybe. They have a giant market cap. But could it hit 30 or 40? Yes. So that's not a 10x. That's a 3 or a 4x from here. But for me, looking at that asset with those assumptions, and I'm not even saying these are my assumptions. I'm saying just play the game. With those assumptions, you would continue to dollar cost average because there's still meat on the bone. When there's no more meat on the bone, there's no point to have it, period. Yeah, Hypercycle. Do I think Hypercycle is going to 10x from here? What would that be? 850? I mean, I can't imagine anytime soon, but could it be $2, $3, $4? Yeah. So again, that I would still be dollar cost averaging. So yeah, there's a lot of FOMO going on. It's much harder. It's much harder to invest when markets are going up than when markets are down and quiet. Everybody looks at the project. They look at they try to make a fundamental analysis, or whatever way you can in crypto, obviously. And then when markets are going up, people just look at the markets going up. So like what we're seeing with Bitcoin, I mean, you have other countries are having their ETFs start to ask their regulators for permission to launch. What do you think happens then? I have a good article. I'll pull it up in a second. When we go behind the wall, I'm going to pull up an article that I found talking about the illiquidity on OTC desks and what that's going to mean. I mean, we've been talking about that for a minute. That I can't answer publicly, but I will answer behind the wall here in a few minutes. What is the March 5th deadline? Each 5th of each month is the deadline to own the NFT to get the rewards for the exchange activity for that month. So on the 25th of each month, we open up claims where you can claim your percentage of the fees. For every Node Market NFT you own, you get a percentage of the fees generated on Node Market. But the cutoff is the 5th. That way we don't have people coming in and on the 24th buying NFTs to collect the payout on the 25th. That'd be a little dickish. So in order to get that payment for March 25th, you got to be in by the 5th. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. Okay. And yeah, the red days are so much easier. The buying 5 thing, you can do that whenever for the next couple of weeks for sure. You buy 5, you're going to get a year of membership for free. Period. Full stop. That's it. But if you want to remember, these NFTs get you a revenue share in whatever's generated on the exchange. So my guess is when compute starts with Hypercycle and people are buying and selling and trading and managing their node licenses, which are little businesses, which might not be little businesses too long, that's going to generate a pretty significant second, third, fourth, whatever revenue stream for the exchange. I think that's going to be pretty good. We'll see. All right. Yes, and 901 Onion. Late to the party, but you got here before the cake was cut. So good for you. Okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and get behind the wall. I'm going to pull up some interesting articles. Oh, Twin is very close. Twin is very close. They're going to announce their TGE. They might announce it this week, like their actual date. So Twin is very close. And behind the wall, we're going to have all sorts of clever ways to play that, because again, we have the proxy token right here on the exchange. So, and those of you that are digital private clients, you also got early access to Twin. We did 2 rounds, so that's going to be pretty cool. I think everybody's going to be pleasantly happy with that. Okay, let's go ahead and get behind the wall, and then we will rock it. 10FT promo. So the way the 10 works is you get, I guess you could stack them. If you do 10 or more, this is also, I guess we never ended it. I got to start memorizing our promos. The way that works is if you get 10, you'll get matching Hypercycle node licenses. Yes, that is still into effect. But you got to do it all at once. You can't come tell us later. You got to the only way that we know is, like, let's say you did 5 and you got your year membership tacked on for free. If you come back a day later and tack on another 5 to get 10, you need to tell us. We can't read anyone's mind. So if you did 10 in close proximity, then you would get your matching Hypercycle node licenses, which you could then deploy with tokens. Yay! Okay. Let's go behind the wall. For those of you that are public facing, you guys ought to become digital investors. Then we go behind the wall, and we can talk shop. The kind of things we can't do out front, publicly, because the man will be watching. And that's not fair. It's not fair to anyone. Brandon said you had to buy 15. Well, if that's what Brandon said, that's what Brandon said. Go default to what Brandon said, I would say. But yeah, those would be like 2 separate things, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you got 10, yeah, you probably would have to stack those. What was that old joke? Like, I lose a little bit on every deal, but I make it up in volume. No, that's bankruptcy. And unless you're Donald Trump, you can't monetize bankruptcy. Okay, let's go behind the proverbial wall, and let's rock and roll.